YouTube! So this is my book review of the Kindle ebook or e-novella, The Elder Origins by Bre Faucheux. Bre Faucheux is an independent, self-published author, and Elder Origins, I can't remember if she said that she wrote it a while back. I can't remember if she said it was her first series or not. I don't know, but I'm enjoying her novella series. I also have the first three books of the Violet Blake series, but I am going to read. I'm going to read the second book of the Elder Origins first before I start on that. So those are my plans for novella stuff. Anyway, so this is my book review and book talk. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars on Amazon. I took a star off because, and this isn't prevalent until you get to the end of the book. There are a few typos / grammatical errors that were jarring enough that it took me away from the story, that I kind of had to, they kind of increased closer to the end, so I did take off a star because I'm a mean English major and grammar Nazi and all of that stuff. But those 4 other stars pretty much means, like, if I was going to do a grading scale, she still got an A. You know, she still got an A because we're for storytelling, for the lore, I mean, really, the book lore or the story lore in her world. Very spot on. I absolutely loved it. I loved the way, this is a vampire story. She likes writing paranormal and vampires, and the mix of Native American lore and vampire lore was very original and very cool. I kind of liked the way she did it, and she had the book has an air of mystery around it that almost makes it a very mystery-esque novel, and I love mystery. I love I'm one of those people. One of the big things I am writing is a story where my character is the main character is kind of, a detective sort of thing. And so it was it was fun for me, and actually very informative for me, to read somebody who kind of brings supernatural and mystery together and puts it into like this little itty-bitty novella series. And I appreciate that as a writer. As a writer and a reader, or as a reader who writes, I like to see what other people do, so I can either say, okay, let me try, okay, I see how they did it here, but what about what this person did? Just so I can see where people are thinking in that sort of genre. And it's really informative for me. And so I like seeing what other independent authors do, where writing is concerned. And it was really, I love lore, I love folklore, in general, and I really love the Native American folklore, and just kind of like how it's from the characters' points of view, who they're not Native American, but they're they're at odds with them because of what the Native American tribe had decided to do in retaliation to something that was going to come years upon years down the road. I kind of wonder, it feels like she took the whole idea of Roanoke and all of the other, I don't know, I mean, I watch the YouTube, I watch her on YouTube, but I haven't really seen if she's talked about Elder Origins. I haven't seen the videos where she has, so it was very, I can only speculate, which I love doing. So if she can correct me if she's wrong. It really did sound like she was almost inspired to write this from, the whole Roanoke colony and the other lost colony. It wasn't just Roanoke who disappeared. It was also a few other colonies that came over in the Americas that they set up a settlement, and then they just were gone. No one could figure out where they went. And I really did think that was like that the situation that the settlers were in really reminded me of that. And that's a good thing, because you have to have some sort of his point of historical, because this is also historical paranormal romance. At least I think there's romance. I was getting a few like flashes of maybe there might be romance, but I'm not sure. But that's very important for something that takes place in a different time period than our modern one, but is still on Earth. Like, if you're still on Earth and it's in a different time period, you need to have some sort of point of historical reference to make the readers go, oh, okay. Okay, this sounds familiar. And it gives a background for us to kind of, like a point of reference almost, to kind of see where the story might go. So, because we all, like, I mean, I was reading it, about halfway through the first chapter, no, fourth chapter, I pretty much thought, this isn't gonna be a happy story. And it wasn't a happy story. It's a survival story. And that's what's even cooler, is like, it's a paranormal story, there's vampires, there's folklore, and there's survival in there. And that's really, it was really fun. I liked reading about Madeline. The main character's name is Madeline, or Madeline. I don't know how she wants to pronounce it. I say Madeline because I don't know. I don't know how the British pronounce it, especially British of that time period. But I don't know how to pronounce it, and I really enjoyed Madeline. I enjoyed being in her head. She's very kind of like subdued for a good portion of the time, but you can see her struggling to like come out and not be subdued anymore. And you really start seeing that at the end of the novel. Unfortunately, because of the typos at the end of the really like glaring, like, whoa, what did I just read? Typos at the end of the novel, it did take away from that atmosphere. And trust me, it's a really good atmosphere, and I really loved the way it felt. But it took me out of the story for a little bit to try and figure out what she was saying, because some of them were just like, sentence structure, or like, the wrong word followed by another wrong word. It wasn't bad. I've if anyone's ever read 50 Shades of Grey, I've read worse when it comes to typos. I've read a lot worse when it comes to typos. So this is definitely not the worst I've read. In fact, this is actually the best book I've read with something that had, just a few issues. And it was they're minor issues, which is why it's, only lost a star. Because I'm mean. I am mean, I'll admit. But for me, it was refreshing to read a vampire novel like that, to kind of get back into the suspense and horror that vampire novels are supposed to have. I mean, even Dracula, which was full of romantic stuff, even Dracula had horror in it, because that's what that is who Dracula was. Dracula used romance, used all this mushy-gushy stuff to bring these women over to his side and make them attracted to him. And that's creepy because it's Dracula. And I liked seeing that from the vampire's point of view, especially considering the fact that the Native American tribe who, spoilers, the Native American tribe who was trying to get rid of them had turned them into vampires, essentially. And so that had the opposite effect of what they'd originally wanted. And that had been that was such an interesting detail. I loved the way that detail was. I love I love seeing new things, and I don't know if it is new or not, but to me it's new. So I haven't seen it before, and I enjoyed reading it. And I'm gonna be reading the second one. um, but just it was awesome, and I recommend people go read the Elder Origins, go read more of Bre Faucheux's works. Don't let the independent author sometimes might have a few grammar errors get in the way of it, because it, when you're an independent author, you're also your own editor. And there's only so much we independent authors, and I haven't published anything yet, but I'm going to, but there's only so much we can um bleh. There's only so much we can catch, especially when you're at the end of editing and you're just tired and you don't want to, you're just sick of the novel and you just don't want to put it out there. You're just like, no, go. I'm done trying to edit you, which I suspect that's what happened, because she even said on her YouTube channel, on her later videos, she doesn't like editing, and I understand. So anyway, read The Elder Origins. I'm going to read the second book, and if anyone else has read The Elder Origins, or the second book, or the third book, let me know what y'all thought in the comments below, and that's it. Bye.